Hi, it is Monday. I am wearing this goofy visor because I'm about to go run on the trail. I think I'm going to do about 5 miles today, maybe 4. It'll depend on how I feel. It is cloudy and still pretty humid out. I think it's in the 70s right now, which isn't ideal running weather, but it's better than some of what we've been having where it's been 80s by this time. I just dropped off one of the kiddos on a youth services trip. They're going to an amusement park for the day, so she should have a pretty fun time. To go on a 5-mile run. I am listening to Rose and Chains. I am about 16% in. This is about a princess, and the regime that she was a part of has been overthrown, and they are taking all the women and possibly men too, I don't know yet, and they are enslaving them and auctioning them off for use of their magic and also their bodies. And so that is where I am at so far. They have been captured and they are have not been auctioned off yet. And they were also talking about like forcibly sterilizing them. So yes, lots of trigger warnings for this one. For my run, I just wanted to catch up. I did start The Bewitching yesterday, and I am about 113 pages in, so like a third of the way through this. This is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and she also wrote Mexican Gothic, which I really enjoyed. This is following 3 different timelines. It has like some historical fiction aspects of it. It's very gothic and multi-generational. Right now, the plot is still pretty slow, a third of the way in. So if that's not for you, I wouldn't recommend this. But I am still liking it so far. It follows 3 women who are being haunted by some sort of supernatural witchy force. So right now we're just discovering what that's all about and getting to know each of the 3 characters and their backgrounds, and I'm liking it so far. We'll see. It could get good or it could get more boring. We will see, but either way, the cover is beautiful, and this will be out by the time I put this up. Very buggy. Okay, so I'm clean, got my run done. I ran about 6 miles, and I am about 34% into Rose and Chains. So
humming thread between her eyes. Am I?
Chains now. So the auction has happened, and Bryony has been sold off to, this world seems kind of like regional, historical a little bit. Obviously it's still, I believe it's fictional, not anything to do with our world. There is magic, obviously. There's 2 kinds of magic. I think they're called Eversong and Damonte magic, and one is a heart magic and one is a mind magic, and Damontes don't use mind magic at all, while the Eversong can use both mind magic and heart magic. So when you use heart magic, it weakens you. You can only use so much of it because it's from your heart and your blood. And when you use mind magic, you don't have those limitations. And so Eversong used mind magic as well. Damonte says that for some reason they don't want to learn mind magic, or I think they can, but they've sworn not to for whatever reason. And they will, to increase their magic, use animals or people to increase their power. Highly I don't know, readable. It's definitely very highly readable and entertaining and interesting, so I'm definitely curious. So groceries are done. They're in the back. I have to unpack them. It is about 12:33. Where'd the day go? Goes by fast when you're running around. But I have had a lot of listening time. I am still liking it. I like that they're flashing back to the days in school, so we're kind of seeing a little bit of the character development between the 2 main characters. on page 162 of this. I'm a little less than halfway through. I'm actually really starting to like it, but it took a long time to kind of get there. But the writing, you know, she writes beautifully, and it was just getting to know the characters and the individual timelines, and for the first about 100 pages or so. So if you persist through that, things do start to happen, weird things start to happen in all the different timelines. So essentially someone's missing in each of the timelines, and you're kind of trying to figure out what happened to that person. So there's 3 timelines. I think I said that, but I might explain a little bit more here. There's one in 1998, which is the most current timeline, and we follow Minerva, who's a student and building supervisor. She's a grad student at a New England college, Seaside College in Massachusetts, I think. And she is doing research on Beatrice, who studied there, who became a horror writer. And then Beatrice is deceased, but she is from the timeline in 1934. And her friend went missing in 1934 before she started writing and all that. And then in 1908, there's Elba, who is Minerva's grandmother, and that timeline is in Mexico, 1908. And Elba's brother goes missing in that timeline. So in all 3 timelines, there's someone who goes missing, and we don't know why. And now there's some like kind of supernaturally, maybe, we don't know, things going on, weird things, creepy things, animals dying, and the feeling that you're being watched, someone following you, and stuff like that. And then in the I also wanted to say that in the 1908 timeline, it's just taken a turn that I didn't think we were going to be heading towards. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think I might like that. So we'll see. I'm in the car on the trail again. I am almost done with Rose and Chains. I think I am about 80% of the way through. Yeah, 80% of the way through. So I think I know what's bothering me about this, other than all the trigger warnings and like violence against women and all that stuff, which I knew going in, so I'm not judging it for that. However, the world building is definitely sloppy, which also like I kind of expect from some of these like romantasy books. And I can overlook that because it's like, you know, turn your brain off and just have a good time with it. But it's hard to do that when you can't turn your brain off and just enjoy it, because there's also some of this like really serious stuff going on. So for me, it's bringing it down like quite a bit. And like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling like the relationship between the 2 main characters either. Obviously, like, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that he's not like down with everything that's going on, and that's not like stuff that's happening between the 2 of them. Like, he bought her to like protect her, and he, you know, is not part of like what's going on, or at least he's trying not to be. He's trying to infiltrate. I don't know, we don't really know what's going on, but obviously like he's not culpable in directly hurting anyone. I guess, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm 80% of the way through, and I was definitely like curious, so I went into it like knowing the premise and being curious about kind of how it would go. And I think like the beginning, I really kind of was intrigued, so it was keeping my attention. And now I'm just kind of like meh, standing on its own. I don't think it works all that well. So, however, all this like bad things that are happening and how brutal some of it is, I know that like that'll make it like even more impactful when they get theirs, which I'm assuming they will, you know, in the series. Like, I read Guilt, and like that first book is very brutal, and there's no redeeming qualities to I guess the main male character of that. And I don't want to have any spoilers, but like that's not where it ends up going in the future books. And like I gave that first book 3 stars because I was still curious to go on, and I give the series overall 3 stars, even though I read all like whatever 7 books. But like the second and third book I really enjoyed, and there were definitely some brutal parts of that, which is why, like, as you go on and things start to happen and people get their just desserts, I guess, it's so impactful because of all those things that go on. But did it need to be that graphic? Probably not. So I'm having like the same feelings I did with that, but that had much better world building, better character development, better relationship development. I don't know. I like that. As a comparison, I like that one much more. But again, like if I were just to compare the first book in that series and the first book in this series, they're probably pretty comparable in that they're both brutal. It's pretty brutal books, those first books. So I don't know. Maybe if I were to continue in this series, which I don't think I will, then it may redeem this first book a little bit, possibly. Rose and Chains. I'm going to give it a 2.5. I found the beginning to be like kind of addicting, and like I just wanted to know what was going to happen, and I was curious about what was going to happen. And then once the auction happened and Bryony gets to where she's going to go, I was just kind of like, okay, well, all these other women, I mean, she's treated well, right? So, but all these other women and men got sold off and are fighting for their lives, and there's a rebellion going on in the background, and I wanted to know about that. Like, Bryony's just kind of like, I mean, yeah, she has challenges and things, but she's kind of just like chilling. And I mean, I know that there are things going on still, but like, I don't know, I didn't find the character development between them like to be all that great. I appreciated that we got flashbacks, so that you got some more character development between the two and like world building. But as I said before, I did find the world building kind of sloppy. I had trouble grounding myself in the story. If I took away any prior knowledge of where the story came from originally, and on its own, standing on its own, I found it to be pretty like skeletal. Like there's so many characters that were probably based on characters from the original work, but if you take all that away, like there's a lot of characters that we don't know anything about, but they're like kind of just plopped in there, and then they're easily forgettable. I liked sort of the ending, I guess. I don't know. I probably won't continue with the series. I gave it a 2.5. If you're curious, pick it up, know and be aware of all the trigger warnings. And yeah, so I'm excited to continue with the Bewitching because that is going better. I finished the Bewitching last night and I really liked it. I thought it was like, I don't know, just like very slow, gothic, atmospheric, and then with a great payoff at the end. I really liked it. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. If you've read Mexican Gothic, I think I liked Mexican Gothic a little bit more maybe, but very comparable enjoyment level for me, both of them. And I wanted to show you we have a second pug coming in to the chat. This is Hannah. She's with us for the week.
I want to say hi, Hannah. Say hello. Hello, everybody. I'm a second pug. Yes, the puggy piss.
Yes, and then Ellie is right there.
Oh, Hannah. Oh, Hannah.
And then, interestingly enough, I also started and finished this last night after, well, mostly started. I started it a few days ago, but I only got like 20 pages in. But I read this for a in-person book club that is tonight, and I pretty much read most of this last night and then finished it up this morning. It's pretty quick. It's only like 300 pages and it reads very quickly. This is The Other Side of Now by Paige Harbison. And this is a kind of like alternative reality story about a woman who, when she's in high school, her friend dies, and she decides before that to go to school with her instead of going to Ireland, and which was her original plan. And basically the alternative, one day in her current reality, she's an actress, and she decides to go to Ireland. But when she goes to Ireland, she like falls into this like alternative reality where she didn't stay with her friend in Florida. She went to Ireland, and in this alternative reality, her friend is alive, and then it just goes from there. I thought it was really fun. I mean, obviously this has been done before, more than once. It'll be done again. But I thought it was heartwarming. I liked the characters a lot, and I just thought it was a fun time, and I would recommend it if it interests you. You know, it's been done before, and like I said, it'll be done again. But you know, so is most romance novels. So I thought it was fun, and it was a quick, easy breezy read to break up after The Bewitching, which was a little more dense.